I'm Leslie.
I am Laurie, and welcome to
Sumo Kaboom.
Sumo Kaboom,
where we talk about all things sumo.
Yeah.
Happy summer.
Basho time.
It's July. Happy Nagoya Basho.
And it's so exciting already. We're only 3 days in, just relaxing into some fabulous sumo. I'm so excited. So excited to talk about my favorite parts of days 1, 2, and 3. But do you have any news before we jump into that?
I'm not sure if I mentioned it last week, but I think, well, actually, no, I didn't. Daisho is an absence from this Basho. We might see him halfway through, but he has a right calf injury, which is no good. And even worse than that, same stable, Oitekaze, Endo had surgery on July 10th.
Yeah, so he's out.
And that's, I think, an ACL. I mean, he's toast for at least.
I just want to say finally had the surgery.
Yeah.
Because he's been working on bum knees for a long time.
Yeah. So he probably won't appear for 4 or more Bashos. I think people are like, will he come back? Of course he can come back. Of course he can. Will he is the big question. When will we see him again? So that's a pretty big injury. We've seen other guys do it, but not at that age, I don't think. So we shall see. Only time will tell. But I hope his little knee is healing. I think that is all the news I have. You want to just jump right in?
Nope, because I have some news. Bingo.
Oh, bingo.
There are 60 cards left.
Yes.
So if you don't have your bingo card, go to our website or get on our Substack. Get the link from our socials. Get yourself a bingo card. It's free. It's fun to play. It's a great way to learn everybody's name.
And prizes.
Yeah, and we give away prizes. So
yeah, thanks
what's to lose?
Big Sumo Fan is a sponsor, so you can get some cool sumo merch. And also,
Cheeky
Sumo gives a cool, I think, a prize from their online store for the most creative card.
And also, Food of the Bard this time.
Yes, we have lots of prizes.
Yeah.
And that makes me think of kind of our biggest news, which I can't believe I was about to forget. If you have not seen our social media, you should know that we are doing a incredible raffle, and it is outstanding. You will want to buy a ticket, and here's why. We have truly autographed, real deal autograph from our connection with the Ionishki fan club. We have cards that are signed by Ionishki and a fan that is signed by Ionishki amongst some other. Yes, there we go. Look at that.
If you're not watching, I'm holding up that fan that is autographed by Ionishki himself.
Yes. And so we were sent this amazing package from Japan, straight from Japan, that has all kinds of sumo merch in it. Okay, so it has Ionishki stuff signed, sumo towels, canvas bags, all kinds of other fans for other wrestlers, Ura, Wakamo Haru, Ichi Yamamoto, Atami Fuji. We've got all kinds of merch. And so we're going to do another raffle because the one that we did at Halloween was so popular.
Yeah.
And so we thought, let's do this again.
Y'all like games. We know you like games.
Yes.
We know you're always asking for more games. So here you go. Here's your biggest, most fun, most accessible game. It's just a raffle. Yeah,
it's a raffle. And each ticket is $3 or 2 for $5. How do people enter the raffle? They go to our coffee account, ko-fi, I think /Sumo Kaboom. It's on all of our social media and our link tree. Just click on that. And then just buy a raffle ticket and make sure that we know, I mean, we can do math.
Anything that comes in during the Basho is going to be included in the raffle.
Yes. You can buy 100 tickets. You can buy 1 ticket. You can buy anything in between, but we will mark that down. And that's how many chances you get to win this raffle.
Yeah.
So, and it goes not to us. It's not going to us to buy fancy cars or anything. This is going to future projects that we have planned for all of you all that, I think are going to be pretty exciting for you all. So it's going to help support those efforts. And we are very excited to be giving away some of this awesome merch.
Yes. So get involved. Now, Basho. Day one of the Basho. First, I just want to know what you think of the new venue.
Oh, it's nice. I mean,
I like it too.
I haven't been able to take a tour, but I know that the other venue had no air conditioning. So this is in the summer, I'm sure, a complete game changer for these guys.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually has always been like a tournament where it's a rando, like lower rank guy. It's a real strange person, not strange person, but like unpredicted kind of person
Well,
that
because
wins
it's
off.
hot and everybody's
It's
sweating their
hot,
ass off.
everything's kind of off, and they can't practice because it's so hot outside, and it's crazy. So they have AC. So I have a feeling that this is going to feel like a very different Basho because it's not as sweaty and steamy as it has been, but it looks beautiful.
I know, just aesthetically, I
Yeah.
think it's really pretty.
Yeah,
Like
and it
all
looks
white. It looks like a big drum or something.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
and it looks bigger. Like the shots from inside, it looks very dark around the seats. It seems like it's holding more people. I don't know. I haven't seen a seat count, but it seems like there's lots more people there. I just think it's uber cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they're way more comfortable in a new space.
Yeah,
So.
probably.
Shall I jump into day one?
Only if you're going to talk about Onosato's ring ceremony.
Oh, I'm not because I
What?
didn't watch it that
What?
way.
What?
I didn't watch it. I didn't. There's just different ways people watch sumo. And
That's
for
true.
me, I had a lot of work going on this
Oh.
weekend. So I had to kind of watch.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it,
Okay,
but not in Nagoya. I've definitely seen it. Yeah.
And
Oh, he's beautiful.
if you had to rate it 1 to 10, 10 being the best.
He's gorgeous. He's lovely.
Yeah.
He's just like a very regal, Yokazuna. He's sweet. He's beautiful. There's nothing to not enjoy. I love having him as a Yokozuna. And it's very exciting to just see a nice young guy out there who's healthy right now and knock on wood, no injuries. And he's out there doing a very beautiful Yokozuna Doyo Iri.
Yeah, he just seems like he fits right in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's always been there.
Yeah.
Even though he's like the fastest one to rise to that position ever, he just seems like a natural there. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Okay, day one. I want to mention Koto A-hole because
I will stop giggling. At some point, I will.
I know. Well, Koto A-hole's debut loss was to Shishi, which looked like an average Shishi fight. But anyway,
that finish was so nice.
Yes, that was the big old thing. Shishi got the Uwatanage grip deep on Koto A-hole's belt. This is very hard to say, and pivoted and flung Koto A-hole into the dirt. It was a very exciting flip, I will say. I always appreciate a good flip and a good big plop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was on Koto A-hole's debut match. So that was that.
Not everything works in your favor all the time.
Not everything works, but I did enjoy the next newbie matchup, which is Fujinoa and Kusano, who Kusano is my hot new thing that I'm very excited about. He is beautiful in a sumo, and I think we're seeing two of these guys. They looked in this match like two future mainstays in Makuuchi. It was very exciting. Both men had a lot to prove, I think, on the Tachi, and sparks flew. It was just kind of from the very beginning.
Sparks flew? Ooh, like a romance.
Sure. Sumo doyo romance of sportsmanship. Yes. Yeah. It was fast. Both he and Fujinoa was all fast energy. And Kusano was sort of trying to figure out, is this a pushing thrusting battle or is this a grappling battle?
Yeah, he seemed surprised.
He did, which he is very well rounded, but I think he was just like, whoa, there's a lot coming at me.
Yeah.
And Fujinoa was trying to push back, but it didn't exactly work. So Fujinoa stayed strong, inched back on Kusano instead with good footwork, moved Kusano back with his own pushing and thrusting series. Kusano hops laterally. He's trying to stay alive because I think he realizes Fujinoa is like he's got kind of that murderous speed.
Honey badger.
Honey badger. He really, really is.
Yeah.
Kusano then goes in with a double outside grip. He sets up, pivots, and throws a beautiful Uwatanage amongst all of that flurry of excitement. Fujinoa goes a flipping up and around. Kusano then finishes him off amidst all of that action with a strong push to the back and Fujinakawa's head and into the dirt. So that was a win for Kusano in his debut match.
What a start that was.
That was like the future of sumo in a few years. I was like, or in another year or two. It's pretty exciting.
That was my first time watching Kusano. I had not seen him before, and you did the research on him, I believe.
Yeah, and I'd been tipped off by him, and I've kind of been like watching a little bit of him in Juryo and just being like, wow, is this guy as great as he's like everybody's talking about? And yeah, he still has lots to learn, but he comes in pretty strong as a debutante into Makuuchi. I have a lot of guys to talk about, but I'm going to go ahead and skip a little bit. Takeru Fuji versus Meisei. Takeru Fuji came out guns blazing, just huge tachi and just pummeled, and all force was headed towards the Meisei. It ended up being a Tsukidashi thrust out, but wowzers, it was definitive, it was forceful, it was commanding, and I hope I see much more of that coming from Takeru Fuji in the future. Hiradeumi versus Tamawashi. Up top, Tamawashi came at Hiradeumi with his Nodowa, and he moved Hiradeumi back, and Hiradeumi was pretty wiggly, and he got in close and moved Tamawashi then back to the edge and almost out. But at the edge, Tamawashi pivoted outwards and stepped to the side and got a hand on the back of Hiradeumi and shoved him into the dirt. The match was initially called for Hiradeumi.
Oh, that's right.
But they had that big old mono-e, and they were like, And so 40-year-old Tamawashi kept his foot hanging into the air. He was like, ooh, I'm real close. I'm going to hold up my foot and let Hiradeumi hit the dirt first. And that's really what the judges ended up talking about and recognizing. And then it was reversed, and they gave the win to Tamawashi.
That's right. Well deserved. Well deserved. I never get tired of watching that guy.
I know. I love him. Wakamoto Haru versus Kirishima. This was surprisingly an easy win for Kirishima, who just got the strong belt grip here with his left hand, and he had a right shallow grip and just moved Wakamoto Haru upwards, rushed him back and out. It was absolutely stunningly beautiful sumo.
It was pretty.
From Kirishima, and I was surprised because Wakamoto Haru and he usually spar a little better, so maybe he just picked the right combo of moves that worked, and it worked real quick and easy for Kirishima.
Yeah, he just got that belt grip immediately.
Yeah,
and I think Wakamoto Haru thought, "Oh shoot, missed that.
Poops,
shoot,
darn." That's what he said.
Darn it.
That's what he said in the Hanamichi on the way back.
Yeah, it was like grab, spin, drive, grab, spin, drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like it.
I want to talk about Koto Zakura versus Ionishki.
Yeah, I figured you would. This was my favorite fight of the whole day. Yeah. 3 stars.
So
I'm not stealing the thunder. I'm just saying 3-star match.
Yeah, I would even say 5 out of 5 stars.
Oh, okay. I was going 3 out of 3, but I like 5 out of 5.
Do it like hotels, like 5 stars.
Okay, yeah, 5-star class sumo.
Yeah. So up top, Koto Zakura, as expected, is heavy, and he's much bigger than Ionishki when you see them all matched up next to each other.
Yeah.
They do some pushes and thrusts, and Ionishki, if these guys are watching the tapes, they should realize what this kid's doing. But he gets in really deep with his head, and he's always very low, and he's very grounded. And he charges back on Koto Zakura. Koto Zakura goes to the edge, but stops the charge because he's pretty darn big.
Yeah.
And he does not move over the bales. He's working at this point, though, to better his grip on Ionishki. He stops all the movement, and Koto Zakura is trying to figure out how he can move back on Ionishki, who is sitting basically in his stomach. Like he's just sitting in his gut. And that's a pretty dangerous spot to be in, because you could be pulled up, or if you lean over the top, you could be pulled down, and the other guy can kind of step back. So he's, I think, thinking, what do I do with this guy? I haven't spent that much time
I would spend that much time with him.
Yeah,
This
really,
is an awkward
this
place
is an
for him to
awkward
be
place,
hanging out.
right? We don't know each other. We haven't even exchanged phone numbers. So at this point, though, Ionishki cleverly uses his left hand and head under the pit of Koto Nowaka, or Koto Zakura, and pulls Koto Zakura downwards and into the dirt. It was called, what you may not have heard it mentioned that much, Uchi Muso. And the Kimarite is a technique in which the attacker, this is the official definition, the attacker sweeps one of his opponent's legs up by hitting the inner thigh and then pulling them with the other hand. So it's inner thigh plopping twist down is like all of the words that go to it. But I didn't quite describe that technique because it is so hard to see it. Like,
yeah, I watched it so many times.
I watched it, and he's so down and he's so low.
WTF, what just happened there?
Uchi Muso. I was like, what? I didn't even see. I just saw that Koto Zakura hit the dirt. So it happens really fast, and he's really good at it. It's unexpected. It's hardly used. There's not a lot of people that use it confidently. And boy, Ionishki just pulled it out and pulled one over on Koto Zakura.
Well, and it just looks so weird, too, because it's like two guys leaning over each other. Ionishki's the one at the bottom, but it looks as if he's had his hand. It's like, imagine somebody like going for your shorts in the front. You're both leaned over. Koto Zakura is on top, right? They're both leaning towards each other. And then somehow Koto Zakura ends up face down on the ground.
Yeah.
And you can't see the hand. Like, you have no idea what Ionishki was holding on to.
Right.
It's nuts.
Yeah. That was pretty exciting. Okay, so then it was Onato versus Oshoma, and I think they just were like, we love this kid. He's our Japanese king of sumo. Let's just give him a nice, easy, and not to say Oshoma is easy, but it looked like this was like a practice match for Onato. Oshoma proved nothing. Because it was a huge tachi, a rush forward, and it was a beautiful, easy, straightforward win for the Yokozuna's debut.
Yeah.
So Oshoma was just easy, and it was just a easy day at work for
easy boy.
And then the last bout of the day was one that I loved, but I hated, but I loved. So what's interesting about Hoshuryu and Takiyasu, and I didn't realize this, is Takiyasu has Hoshuryu's number.
Oh, yeah.
He's beat him 10 times, and Hoshuryu's won twice. So he has a much better record over Hoshuryu, and he did not get that 11th because Hoshuryu, I think in this match, finally figured it out. He did a beautiful sodogake on Takiyasu, and that had him flipping down. I felt he must have gotten whiplash as hard and as fast as he fell backwards onto his butt, but it was just an amazing move. He got in close after the tachi, Hoshuryu did, and then just lifted up on the neck of Takiyasu and then swung his legs out from underneath him in the back, and then Takiyasu just hit the dirt, and then everyone probably was like, ugh. Because it was a pretty hard hit, but you know what? Good for Hoshuryu for finally figuring it out, and it was a beautiful win for Yokozuna, who's been under some pressure. So that is day one.
Great description. Day two. I want to start with a simple Tachi appreciation. Okay, I am normally the girl that likes the really great throws in sumo, but I also really appreciate it when two guys run right towards each other at a tachi, and it's explosive, and one guy absolutely overpowers the other one. And it happened often. In day two, we had, I still don't know if it's Kusano or Kusano, because I've heard it both ways now.
Yeah, I don't know.
However, we're going to figure out how to say his name. He launched at the tachi, wrapped up Chura no Umi, no problem at all. He drove forward. It actually was a Yori Kiri win at the end because he got Chura no Umi's belt, but won at the tachi. And it wasn't just him. Takeru Fuji, enormous chest that he has, rocked out of the Tachi. Hira de Umi just moved back. He twisted. He kept going back. It kept going back. He never had a chance because Takeru Fuji was so dominant when he rocketed out of that Tachi. And again, Oshoma versus Hakuoho, a beauty of a start as Hakuoho just launched out of that Tachi. And I was worried about Hakuoho and his little shoulders and his elbow. It's like his arms.
Holds.
Yeah, his arms seem to be getting hurt all of the time because of that Tachi. Like it's just like, if I'm going to win this, I'm going to be so forceful and I'm going to just bowl you over at the Tachi. And there's nothing quite like watching that when it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it works like that and these guys walk back like Hakuoho or Takeru Fuji walk back and it's worked so well and they're just like, they're so strong on the top. I always think, this is a dumb thought, but I always think, that's how I feel at the gym. After I lift my 15 or 20 pound weights a lot, I feel just that strong. Nowhere close. But I feel the essence of the powerful win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. That makes sense.
So, hopefully there are other people out there like me that love that kind of Tachi sometimes. I do want to mention Obby. Obby on day one, you didn't mention it as a highlight, but Obby gave a beauty of a henka. And I think this is going to be a theme for Obby through this basho because he just had elbow surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we mentioned that on our podcast.
No,
because I only recently found out.
Yeah, I think that's just slipped through the cracks.
Yeah. So last month he had elbow surgery and here he is doing sumo. I would think it would be really hard to do great sumo.
Yeah, so he's just got to get the wins however he's got to get them.
Yeah. So he did a henka on day one. On day two, Kirishima gave him a dose of his own medicine. With a hit and shift, he grabbed Obby's belt and Uwatanaga'd him down. I just mentioned it because I think we're going to see more of that similar stuff from Obby this tournament. Wakataka Kage, I'm just going to say he's so good. Continues to be so good. Day two, day three, another story. But day two, appreciation post for Wakataka Kage. I'm going to skip, even though I absolutely loved Koto Zakura versus Oho on day two. Two behemoths going for it. Koto Zakura, after a lot of heavy breathing and a long pause in the middle, drove back Oho, won with a yorikiri, and I loved it. Yeah. Absolutely loved it. It was nice to see this kid win at Ozeki.
Praise be.
Yeah. I am going to tell you about my favorite bout of two. No, this one is my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite, Hoshuryu versus Wakamoto Haru.
Yeah.
Wakamoto Haru.
Yeah, I think we might talk about other things, but I'm pretty sure that we're aiming just towards a full day two breakdown of one match.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. That is what you're going to get.
Yeah. And that's why I just sit back and enjoy.
Yep. Okay, Wakamoto Haru met and moved Hoshuryu and went for a slapdown attempt. And it almost worked. Almost. But Hoshuryu is a Yokazuna, after all. So he lifted his head back up, got his balance back after almost going down. Like, you know, in animes where you see someone stand there and they like channel fire through their body before they like jump back into a fight. It was almost like you could see Hoshuryu do that. Like, I will not lose. And he jumped.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to like jog my brain of like actually how many times I've seen that in anime.
Oh,
I know it happens, but yes. I don't know if I've seen it happen, but I know it happens.
Okay. Well, Hoshuryu, with all the power of his might, jumped back into the fight. They sort of wrapped up. Each one got an arm, like one arm underneath the other one's armpit. And then there was some jostling of like, I'm going to try to get my other arm on your belt, mm-hmm. and I'm going to move my hip away from you. Like that move that I adore so much in sumo. And there was this moment where it was like, okay, who has the upper hand here? Who's got it? And Hoshuryu must have thought to himself, I have enough time and I've got the right power differential, I'm going to go for the Makikai. I'm going to take this one hand and I'm going to try to drive it inside really quickly because I'm super fast like that. And Wakamoto Haru felt the momentum shift and leapt forward, moved Hoshuryu out. I wasn't sure that Wakamoto Haru could do that, so I was very impressed by this. And also, we ended up getting a very adorable interview at the end.
Oh, I missed that. I missed it.
Wakamoto Haru gave like this little sweet smile. I'm so in love with Wakamoto Haru. Okay, but that was my favorite fight of the day. But I do have to mention Ionishki versus Onato. This was Ionishki, his first meeting with a Yokozuna, right?
Yes, and it made me giggle.
Yeah. So I was thinking, I was like, what's going to happen?
I guffawed.
I didn't guffaw, but I didn't expect it to be quite so one-sided. I will say. Onato just completely overpowered Ionishki. He didn't even give Ionishki a chance to get in and low. He had one hand on that kid's chest. He popped him up and back so hard and so fast. I don't know if it's the length of Onato's arms or he just got better at the Tachi, but it was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you did well the day before. You did really well on day one, but that is a different story.
Onato had a plan, and that was to keep this kid who's grounded and has been smoking everybody else for the last couple of tournaments. I'm going to keep him far away from me, and I will out-muscle him because mass-wise, he owns Ionishki and mass and height, right? I believe Ionishki will get there, and he will have his number in time. But I feel like Onato was just so strong and looked exactly like a Yokozuna should look in that moment. He's big, he's strong, and he's very smart with his moves. So I felt that it was more about how dominant Onato is in the current group of wrestlers that we have right now. And I'm hoping that he will continue to dominate like that in the future, because that's what Yokozuna is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That dominant.
Yeah.
And finally, day 3. Okay, well, Mitakeumi, who we haven't chatted about, he's back up in Makuuchi, and he is crushing it with a 3-0 at this point.
As he should.
Maybe that's just where he needed to be. Get his confidence back up. He's
injury post. Maybe he's finally healed.
Maybe, but he beat Koto A-hole, so that's that. Fujinoa got a really nice first win by completely manhandling Hidenoumi, which I thought was really at the very end. So in that match, he tweaked his neck, and I don't exactly know where, but at the end, he couldn't even sit in
would crouch down.
Yeah, he couldn't really kneel. And that's weird if it's your neck. You know, I would understand he struggled to kneel down if it was your knees, I get it, but your neck or something's up.
Well, if you're worried about a neck injury, I think you just move very carefully.
Yeah.
And what was doubly strange is he got an interview afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And because that was his first win.
Right?
Yeah, first win in the top division. And he didn't look like he was in pain then.
So maybe he just tweaked it.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He's like, yeah, I just tweaked my neck a little bit. But he was moving his head around a little. I don't know.
Just checking.
That's terrifying to tweak your neck. And so I'm sure you don't move quickly any direction at all when that happens.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Let's talk about Takeru Fuji versus Toby Zaru. They've never met. So we have a Tachi and Toby Zaru shifted a smidge, like a hair, a smidge to the right. And Takeru Fuji was like, that's no problem. I'm just going to go in and lock up and tried to get inside, lock up a little bit. But Toby Zaru is a lot lower, and he sits really heavy. He's got a lower half that's really strong. And Takeru Fuji has a lot of strength up top, but for some reason he just kind of couldn't move Toby Zaru easily. Tobizaru then tries, in their stalling moment, tries to kind of hop back and wind up to do a throw on Takarafuji, and Takarafuji denies that attempt. Takarafuji then grabs around the back of Tobizaru's neck, and then Takarafuji hops back into the side and then grabs again around the back of the head and rushes Tobizaru back into the edge. But then Tobizaru steps out to pivot and throw. And in that desperation, Takarafuji tries to reverse the momentum and winds up to throw himself, to throw Tobizaru. But the momentum is actually in Tobizaru's favor. And he ends up laying out, and Takarafuji ends up getting kind of crushed out. And it ended up being a win for Tobizaru. But it was kind of like exciting. It was kind of exciting to me. Lots of handsy business, lots of throwing around, and a big finish with a huge throw through the air with the frontal crush out. It's always fun.
Yeah, it was exciting. They're two very different sumo styles.
Yeah.
And so I'm always curious what's going to happen when they meet each other. And I didn't expect it to be that all over the place and that kind of evenly matched. And especially since Tobizaru hasn't been, since the bullying came out, he just hasn't been as zippy. I don't know if that's really the term to use.
I agree.
But it's like his footing hasn't been as stable as it was in the past. So I was very surprised by this one.
Yeah, me too.
Zippy. That is a professional sumo term.
Zippy. It's kimarite.
Yeah.
Hakuoho beat Hiradoumi. He looked definitively better and stronger than Hiradoumi, which is odd to say because I adore watching Hiradoumi, who's powerful, but he just charged one way. Hiradoumi tries to evade laterally, and then Hakuoho just charged back, and this time he got Hiradoumi out of the ring. It was an Oshidashi win for Hakuoho, who's looking really good.
Like the tank that he is.
Exactly. And I'm happy because maybe he after surgery and all the health stuff he's had, like just finding that momentum in the top division is making me happy.
Yeah. I want to see him in Sanyaku.
Wakataka Kage versus Obby. No surprise here because of what we talked about. We had a mata, and Obby kind of stood up, and it was a false start. And I thought, is this all a play? Because on the second time around, Obby did a hit and shift, and Wakataka Kage is just too low, and he kind of hops one way and then finds himself in the straddle splits face forward into the dirt. And Obby got the win as he pushed down on the back of Wakataka Kage with a Hataki Komi slap down.
Oh,
so painful, I knew for Larry.
Yeah.
For me as well, but not a surprise.
Oh, I was so bummed for Wakataka Kage.
I was too, because he's the guy that's going to meet you straightforward sumo. He wants to fight, but Obby's like, nope, I got to get my wins.
Like sometimes I don't mind a hangup, but I minded that one. I was like, you're going to pull that from Wakataka Kage.
You know what I didn't mind is Kirishima beating Oho soundly.
Yeah.
He looked incredible up against him. Oho is no match.
Why do I love watching Oho lose so much?
I don't know. You really haven't grasped. I love him. I believe in him. He's the son, our grandson of a Yokazuna. And I want him to succeed. He has a lot resting on his shoulders.
He's my villain. He's my sumo villain.
What? There are far better villains out there. Far better villains. Okay, but anyway, he was beat. It was toast. So that probably made you happy. Koto Zakura versus Takiyasu.
Yeah, see, this is one I knew you were going to break down.
Yeah. Well, up top they tachi. Takiyasu tries to get a grip, with his like bare face.
Get a grip.
And then Koto Zakura is pretty closed off. He's smart because he knows that Takiyasu actually has really long arms, and he's one of the few guys that can reach around and manhandle him because he's similar in size-ish. Takiyasu decides to do a makikai grip switch and to get on the inside of Koto Zakura, put some pressure on him. And in that moment, this is where I think Koto Zakura is suffering, not in his body, but in his mental. game because you can see when someone goes for a Maki Kai, you got two choices: to completely freak out or to be chill. And I felt like he lost his focus in that moment because he was like, oh no, here comes the grip switch. He got it. And in that kind of quick moment of realizing that Takiyasu was going for the Maki Kai, he didn't charge. He was low, or he was slow on the take. When someone does a Maki Kai, you are supposed to charge back because that person's vulnerable when they're doing the grip switch. But Takayasu's grip switch worked. And now Koto Zakura is all out of sorts. He steps back and Takiyasu ushers Koto Zakura to the dirt with a beautiful Uwata Dashinage for the win with his left hand and brought him down. Pretty easy peasy.
Didn't he go Makakai and also pull Koto Zakura off balance a little bit? But I think if I'm remembering correctly, I sort of remember him being like, oh, I can't fall down here.
Well, that's what I mean by that focus that's lost in those clutch moments. And I felt like he just was like, he freaked out about him getting the grip as opposed to doing what you're supposed to do when you feel somebody going from Maki Kai. Now, maybe Takiyasu was super fast and sneaky and he just didn't realize it was happening as it was happening. Onato completely dominated Wakamo Haru. I'm sorry. It was an Oshi Tayoshi win and Onato looked exactly as he should.
I'm not going to give Onato that win because really Wakamoto Haru slipped. Okay. I mean, it was a huge push. Yeah. But Wakamoto Haru slipped on the clay. Okay. So that's a bummer. Happens. A bummer. Yeah, it was a tough day to be one of those brothers.
Yeah. Now let me talk to you about the most exciting match of the day.
Yeah.
I am talking to you about Hoshuryu versus Ionishki. Here's the fan that we have of Ionishki signed. That could be yours.
That's right.
For $3 raffle ticket.
That's right.
I loved this match much.
Me too.
Because both are quick, both are agile, and they've never met before. Ionishki up top was low and inside on the left with Hoshuryu. Hoshuryu was lifting up and inside on the right of Ionishki. Ionishki got backed up to the edge, but then what happened was a double series of merry-go-rounds. And I thought for a second, who is instigating this merry-go-round? And Hoshuryu is over now on the top. And I'm pretty sure now it's Hoshuryu that was winding up to do some sort of fantastic throw on Ionishki. So he does the first one, and Ionishki goes for a spin, and something happens in between. And that's that really low. He's so low, but he gets a little hand and he pokes, like he tries to nudge out the inner thigh of Hoshuryu. And Hoshuryu, or lift up on it. I'm not sure. Hoshuryu either doesn't think it's anything, but he goes again around. He goes around again. He's like, okay, if it first doesn't work, let me try it again with this Ionishki kid who is grounded. He's stuck like glue to the dirt. So then the second time around, Hoshuryu does this, let's take him on a spin and then fling him out into the dirt in a fantastic fashion. Well, he has met his match because Ionishki does it again, and this time he is dug so far his head into Hoshuryu's gut, and he lifts up, he takes his arms and he lifts up on the knee and the upper thigh, the back thigh of Hoshuryu, and then just kind of tackles him into the dirt and takes his feet out from under him. It was beautiful. It is his very first Kimboshi, and I could not believe my eyes, but then I could. These guys, it was a Watashi Komi win for Ionishki. He fights low and fast, and I cannot wait to see these guys match up again.
I know.
I cannot wait because they both are full body wrestlers. They both use their arms and their legs. So everything that Hoshuryu dishes out onto other people can be dished right back to him. And that's exactly what happened today, is that Hoshuryu got Hoshuryu'd by another wrestler who fights or can fight similarly.
Yeah. And so it was fun. We got to see the cushions fly.
Yeah.
People were throwing their cushions up in the air. I didn't realize it until watching those two together that they are quite similar in style.
In style, yeah.
And both of them, and Wakataka Kage too, have this ability to just Velcro in close when they're on the belt. Like, dig deep, bend their knees deep, and stay close and in. And it's so exciting.
Yeah, and
to watch.
big moves, just huge sumo, full body sumo. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and so Ionishki on day 3 has taken down an Ozeki and a Yokozuna. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I'm still just like, this kid is going places.
Yeah. He can't beat Onato yet, but wow, he's at Maegashira 1.
Well, there's not many people that can beat Onato
right
now.
Right. But he sure as heck beat the other Yokozuna, and that was fun to see.
And Hoshuryu was not happy about it at all.
No.
He is another one I do love Hoshuryu, but I do love to watch him lose too. He's one of those I can lean either direction. I can cheer for him 110%, or I can be like, oh, it's so fun to see you lose.
I feel the same. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, I love his style and his pizzazz. That's so much fun. But I do love to see him being taken down in a fantastic fashion, and that's what happened
and
on day
really
3.
A skill. That's a skill in sumo.
Yeah.
Is to get people on your side, win or lose.
Right.
Win or lose. People don't care.
He's not a villain. He can look like a villain, but he's really not. He just is a villain in that moment, in the match up against the other guy.
He's
a sweetheart.
He's an embodiment of everything I love about sumo.
Yeah.
So win or lose, it doesn't matter. I just love watching him.
Yeah, he's a lot of personality.
Yeah. So that is something. Like, there aren't many guys like that.
I hope it sends him a signal though, because he's had rough tournaments, and whatever his preparation is, it's good. It's good, but is it the best that he can do? And I think the answer is no. So I think a win for the Ionishki like this sends a pretty big message that, hey, you got to work harder. You got to figure out how to beat these guys. He's a smaller Yokozuna. He does not have
That's the thing.
Size.
Yeah.
So he's got to figure out, like his uncle, how to dominate.
Well, Onosato just has the physique in spades.
He has a natural
He's so
physique.
big and so heavy and so strong with such long arms. Those are huge advantages. Yeah. Huge advantages. Both these guys are so popular. The sumo people must be so happy to have both of these Yokozuna.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Hoshuryu's smaller. So yeah, it just makes it tougher. I don't have anything to add to that except for I'm just loving it. He doesn't need to drop out. He doesn't need to drop out. No. So at the end of day 3, I know scorecards don't mean anything, but I just want to mention some of the people that are 3-0 right now. Takayumi, so nice to see him start strong after having been in Juryo for a while. Koto Shoho, who has been looking really strong. Anything you want to say about him?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Ichi Yamamoto, who has been doing way more belt sumo. Remember, he used to just exclusively be a pusher thruster?
He's been working belt and pushing thrusting. So he's getting to be well-rounded, and he's just adorable.
Yeah, and we have a fan, an Ichi Yamamoto fan that's going to go in a raffle. Mm-hmm. Ura has started 3-0, which is super exciting. Also, we have his fan that's going to go in a raffle. Tamawashi. Kirishima. That's exciting. Yeah. And, of course, Onosato.
Good.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen, but it's just thrilling as always.
All right. Well, that is it for this week. We'll be back at you next week. We've got more sumo to be breaking down. Get your raffle tickets, spread the word, and get your bingo cards all ready and prepped, because next week we'll start to see some sumo bingos come in, and you want to be on top of that.
Bye.
Until then, bye.